Welcome to Cloud Climber. I don't think it's a horror game. Actually, it might be too, or a little mix of. Let's see. I guess you could put it as a walking simulator, I guess, but it looked really artistically interesting. Perhaps if you're more familiar with works such as Myst, then perhaps this might interest you more. As the Game Store page puts, 1,000 years ago, it stopped raining, and all Earth's water evaporated into the clouds. For over 100 years, people have been building towers to attempt to reach the clouds, so they can get the water they need to survive. And for over 100 years, they've failed. It's been a long time, but you're not done building yet. Explore the last monuments of humanity as one of the only people alive while coming to terms with the bleak reality that lies ahead. So it's more of an artistic and interesting looking game, rather than no horror. But it looked interesting, and thought to give it a try. Sad days, though. Trying to get to the clouds.
Another day has arrived. I'd best get my water before going to work.
But, oh yeah, also, what is important about this is it's by 2-Star Games, just reminded myself. They also have made My Friend is a Raven, which was a game I played a while back when it first was released. When was that again? November 2019, so almost basically a year ago. My Friend is a Raven. It was an interesting 2D but 3D drawn, hand-drawn games. It looked really cool. But now they made Cloud Climber. Cloud Climber? Cloud Climber, yes. And it's got that little, like the textures are all hand-drawn scribbles sort of thing, as you can tell. Chest keys required. Okay. Stan Diary, page 1489. I may need to get to the neighboring tower in the future, but I know the other builders keep the entrance to the bridge locked. I saw a key on the table at the top of our tower a few weeks ago before I went to get more building supplies. I haven't been up there in a few days, so I'll need to check if it unlocks the bridge door. If the other towers ever become vacant, I might need to get across, so I'll have to keep this in mind. Bucket of water added inventory. So we have a chest of water. And this shit, I guess, eventually is going to evaporate as well. I mean, it isn't a wooden box, but yeah, let's explore.
Construction on the last tower stopped weeks ago. I can only assume that the builders have met their fate by now.
Oh,
I
cool.
believe it's safe enough for me to go and continue building higher yet from where they left off. I'll need to travel across the other 2 towers to get there, but I'm sure I can find a way.
So we could maybe drop down. I want to do that rather than... Can't take that. Let's see if I can go down. I can't go down here. Because clearly, for progress, we'd want to move across that bridge. And going up is key, but can I go down? I want to explore every nook and cranny. No? Fuck. Well, it was worth a try. Let's go up then. Hey, look at this. Pretty cool style. Pretty nice. Bernie the Great and Terrible Diary, page 69. Funny number. For months we've been building faster than ever, yet it seems as if every time we complete a new level, the clouds raise higher and higher. I could have sworn we were close to them decades ago, but we're still not done yet. I can only hope that we're getting close. Signed, Bernie, the Great and Terrible. Well, Bernie the Great and Terrible. Bunch of bricks. Nothing else. Joey Diary, 420. Haha. 69 than 420. Haha. I've been building all day long, and Bernie the Great and Terrible has been sitting on his butt acting as foreman. AKA, he doesn't do any work and drinks all our water. I've started locking my water chest just in case he really does think he's above us all. Yeah, it does sound like a foreman thing to do. He hid his key, though. So if his water is in there, we might want it ourselves. But can we get to it? Maybe, maybe not. Ah, we'd have to get in there somehow to get across. Alright, let's find that key. Never mind. Bridge door key added. Nice. Sad days when you're alone, Sergal, building towers, and there's no one to repopulate with. Very sad. I wonder how many people in this universe just would jump and kill themselves. Kind of a morbid thing to say, yes, but I mean, come on. All your life you're just building. And building and building. Drinking water. What fucking food would you have? How are they surviving on just water? Like, humans can survive a long time with water, but is that just how it is? Like, how the hell do people even become an adult? Is there some people that can get birds? Smiley. Edna Diary 36, I can't believe today is the 100th anniversary of our tower. I know others have been building much longer, and now I wish our grandparents had taken this whole thing more seriously. 100 years ago, they decided things were getting dangerous, but they didn't. But why didn't they see the problem 200 years ago, or even longer? I'm still glad they started building, but I just wish we had seen this coming. A foresight of 100 years in the future? Okay.
It's been quite some time since I was on the second tower. I haven't crossed this bridge since the builders became greedy and took the supplies that were meant to come to our tower. Just like all the other towers, its inhabitants quickly grew desperate and aggressive.
I mean, like, look at that
Now
tower.
it stands empty.
That tower is just like kingly. Is this like some kind of hierarchy here? Where the peasant tower and the line of command just... It's sort of like that one movie. What was it? There's a European movie where it was like a tower of 1,000 floors and lower. I remember watching a person on YouTube review and explain its deeper meanings. It wasn't in English. It's like an elevator that goes from the top and it goes all the way down the tower, and every single time there's food on the elevator that goes down, and the rules were like you can't go on the elevator, it goes too fast up so you can't try to escape. Once you're in the tower, you're basically fucked. And those at the very top get the best food, while the people at the bottom basically get nothing, because everyone at every floor will keep eating and eating and eating whatever they want, while everyone else on the lower levels basically starve to death. And it's basically the elevator hierarchy. And this makes me maybe think this is similar. The hierarchy of supplies, best everything, then it just gets worse and worse. Maybe not. Made me think about it, though. I guess I knew this day would come, but I didn't expect it to come this soon. Yesterday we started extreme rationing of our water. A few days back we stopped getting supplies from the ground crew on our lift. We can only assume that they stole the supplies for themselves, ran out of water and food sources, or simply died. If we don't get into the cloud soon, we might need to see if we can get some from one of the neighboring towers. No. Once we get up to there, we won't be able to get any lower because the stairs over there are broken, so that floor is pointless, although there's workable stairs there, and everything else is just not even bothered. It's just sort of copy-pasted. But why is there a door there, but you can't access it? Well, maybe you can access it at some point. Who knows? Who knows? Can't open it. No keys. 9,825 by Bertha. Dear Diary, wouldn't it be ironic if it rained now, after decades of building? Now would be the perfect time since we've just started rationing our supplies more, but I have a good feeling about things. I know I've never seen rain myself, but grandmother always told me how wonderful it felt. It'd be so surreal to be on the ground and see water for miles instead of desert and wasteland. I'm sure it will rain someday. We just need to survive until then.
Installed a rope cart on this level to get to the third tower. I should be able to use it to get across.
I try to be reasonable, I try to talk with them, but those greedy little scumbags on Tower 1 don't want to share their supplies with us. I'm not going to die miles above the ground, drying up like a raisin, while other people watch. I'm going to go over there tonight to take everything I need so I can last long enough to watch everyone else die. Yep. And there's where I started, that little petty tower, 1 floor below our unique, godly tower, of course. Unlike that kingly tower over there. I won't get on the elevator yet, though. Let's check out what's up here. Nothing? No keys? No, at least I can stand above that tower and look down on them. Which is that basically what would happen in the movie, psychologically speaking. It is pretty much revolving around human psychology. Similar to how you have systems of, if you're above others, you look down on them, and other kind of narcissistic things. Or human nature, or just animals. That's why when you go to zoos...
I could almost call this place beautiful if these dust storms weren't so suffocating.
Zoos, a lot of animal cages, and not all zoos, but a lot of animal cages, you'll have it so the animals are, you know...
Find what I'm looking for at the fourth tower.
A lot of zoos have it so... aggressive animals or very large animals are deliberately placed in cages that are sub-level. Like, they'll be placed where if we're looking at them, we're always looking down on them, rather than a cage that's on equal footing. So a lot of times, like, you know, like where Harambe was even, the gorillas are in a habitat where they're really low, and we look down on them, and they look up at us. Or you look at courts, when you go to a person, you know, a judge and jury, a judge is on a podium that is high above you. The judge looks down on you. It's to make it so you, as either a criminal or a suspect, you feel lesser. You feel like you are not in control, unlike the judge who is above you. It's a very simple way of manipulating feelings and emotions. Very basic, but very real. Yesterday, Dang fell off the tower. I don't know how it happened, but it was a shame, especially since he had the key to most of our water chests. We'll need to break the locked ones open soon, since we've almost emptied out the other chests. I mean, you guys got fucking hammers. I mean, it shouldn't be that hard. Even though I think they're just wooden mallets. But I mean, you have bricks, unless these bricks are made out of wood. So I mean, use the bricks. I couldn't be more frustrated right now. We're running out of water, running out of building supplies, and Carl just won't get along with me. At least 5 times a day he pretends he's going to push me off the tower, I swear. If I do fall someday, it'll be his fault. Page 1. It's the only time he made a page diary, and that's some dude joking about pushing. More like premeditated murder. He's planning for it, just every time you caught him, he's like, ah, just kidding, I wouldn't shove you. But then there's that one day he didn't see him come behind him, perhaps. Yeah, I wouldn't trust being so high off the ground and being around desperate fucking crazy people. That'd be obnoxious and toxic. Carl! I just can't get over it. Hedang gives me the absolute best reactions when I mess with him. For the past week, I've been pretending to get mad and shove my arms at him as if to push him off the tower. I don't think this will ever get old, and I can tell Hadang loves it. This person deserves to be hung. They're so desperate for fucking attention that they just troll, and I'd see it as trolling / bullying. Like, your reactions fuel me to want, because they're so desperate for something. Like, they don't have TVs and internet, you know, so they're just desperate for something. It's like clickbaiting for journalists. They just really want to get a fucking reaction out of you. Anyone like that in real life, anyone that actually is like that, I fucking hate them. I don't give them the time of day. Especially, you know, you can still see people like that on Twitter that are desperate for attention. I fucking hate those kinds of people. Toxic and self-serving.
Fix this bridge.
Yeah. So difficult. I will go to the Kingly Tower.
It's hard to believe that I'm the last one here.
Don't think like that.
I never thought it would end like this.
We can't say that for
I used to
sure.
wonder what the whole point was in the first place.
Reach the clouds, like get any higher. And they'll just, yeah. I don't know why they'd assume there'd be fucking water. We don't have, like, it doesn't look like they have the technology of sucking in the clouds and converting the contents of a cloud into fucking cloud vapors into water. It hasn't rained. Honestly, I wouldn't even know how they've gotten water thus far. If it hasn't rained and they had journalists saying, oh, the grandmother said it was raining, but I've never seen it. So it's like what, the last time it rained was 80 years ago? Reminds me of One Piece, the Alabasta arc. You'd need to make like some kind of weird technology to force the clouds to fucking rain. Dewey. This evening, Kevin made a really cheesy speech about how we alone will prevail and how we're the only descendants of the great ones who deserve life. It was honestly the cringiest speech I've ever heard. That's really saying a lot considering the other stuff he's been saying lately. He also keeps referring to himself in third person and only responds to us if we call him son of Zilkar. A note of ambition. That guy. Okay, the son of Zilkar. Out of everyone on this earth, our families were the only ones who took the water crisis seriously. We were the ones who started building. We were mocked and told we were insane. We were the ones who everyone looked to when the lakes and rivers dried up. Our blueprints were the ones that were stolen as people became desperate. Out of everyone on this earth, we are the ones who deserve to survive. The clouds are brimming with liquid life, but are still so evasive. We've been building for a long time, but we're not done yet. We have to go. We have farther to go. We will climb the clouds. And people actually, like, listen to him. First thing you gotta do, push him off the tower. No. Let's hope we'll find some kind of... We gotta find a babe. It's my mission. The last human on Earth. Assuming this is Earth. I can't even see how a society like that would work out. Like, again, but besides food, there's no birds. So where do you get your food? You need solids, man. You can't. There's no farms. If it's like Waterworld, they sort of implied how the main character gets dirt when he swims down, gets dirt from the bottom of the ocean. In this, there's no gardens. It looks like none of them brought dirt back. At least, I mean, if you showed gardens, like some little tiny little patches of garden, like DIY fucking gardens, then it would make sense. It's gonna be like, oh, people went down below and found sort of okay soil, and there's some people have little carrot farms, but since there's not enough, you know, it'd just be kind of problematic since obviously you don't have the land to till a mass amount of crops to feed enough people, probably. Oh well. It's not my problem. Bricks? Nope. Alright. We are climbing higher? Are we? Is that... Oh, I am. Shit. What if I climb here? No. Look how fast I build. Why am I not the leader? Look at that. I'm a great builder.
This place really is beautiful, even with the dust storms. It's peaceful in a way.
I don't know if...
I've been working on that tower my whole life. Never once stopped to appreciate what we'd spent our lives building. We only looked up to the clouds, hoping we'd someday reach them, so we could prolong our lives. But now that everyone's gone, I know any attempt I might make at accomplishing that would be futile. Rather than spending the rest of my life building a tower, maybe it's time I took a break. It's been a long time, but I think I'm finally done.
Oh shit. Lived not long enough to see the rain. No, at least he didn't say, hey, I need a break, and then just fucking jump. My only complaints? The voice sound effects, or voice volume is fucking low. The wind noise is fine, but it's like the guy's speaking volume is so fucking quiet. You need to raise that by an extra like 5 fucking decibels or something. Way too quiet. Way too quiet. Like, you need to make it so the dude's voice is actually louder than the wind. Like, come on. Because in the options, settings, it's just graphics. Sound. One would be make sure the dude's voice is louder than, again, the background sound effects or background noise. And settings, so you could maybe move sliders back and forth. Kind of normal, I guess, to kind of expect rather than just graphics. But otherwise, I wonder how shitty would look low. Oh god, the draw distance in AA. Ooh. Anyways, yeah, but an interesting game. I'd imagine in a culture such as this, though, the only thing I'd think would be more realistic to the culture would there'd probably be I'd expect, if I were to shove my ideas into the culture and immerse myself into it, I'd imagine they would have machines, like they had water in chests. I'd imagine they would make a giant funnel to sort of collect rain if it were to ever rain. Because if it rains, there's no machinery in view. Like I'd expect this giant, huge fucking bucket between all the towers, or at least then hoarding in the first tower, so any rain is caught into a funnel system and drained into a reserve or reservoir. But instead, if it rains, there's no implication of a system to collect the water even. It's just sort of bare bone. But it doesn't escape to the fact, but I mean, it's just sort of like, if I immerse myself in the culture, there's a few things I feel like that would be missing. Things they would build, things that would be necessary. Just having like, hey, I have a treasure chest of water, I have a bucket of water. Huge reservoirs. Like if that fucking huge tower there, if all the lower floors, which used to be for building and stockpiling, then they they moved their materials, supplies, and moved it up to the next floor, I'd imagine building reservoirs on the floors already completed would be the most logical thing they would do. So then when it does rain, they'd have a funnel system collect the rainwater so it would drip down and go into the tanks, and the lower levels then would probably become tanks for collecting water. Instead, you could maybe just anecdotally claim that's, what they did, just by me saying it's an idea, since we never checked, every single floor in the big tower, but it's kind of clear that they didn't survive. And again, where the fuck they'd get food? So it's like, if you had like patches of little little fucking farms like you find in some people's backyards, in people's little cubby bedrooms here and there, and a water collection reservoir, then I would think it'd be more immersive. But those kind of nitpicks are not game-breaking, and, you know, it's not going to escape the fact of the narrative. It's just my little idea nitpicks of, if I made this game, I would put a water reservoir system, make it visible, and little tiny farms. It may be dried farms, like sandy farms that just failed, and some being soil that's either rich or maybe just not rich at all because it's too shitty, because the soil doesn't have enough nutrients kind of shit. Who knows? But otherwise, I don't know, hope you enjoyed Cloud Climber. If you did enjoy Cloud Climber for its interesting, unique walking simulator story, I'm not sure honestly what to call it, but the visuals are nice as usual. My only usual then response, I guess, would be, man, if only there was a horror game like this, or what if this style was put in a horror aspect? But then again, whenever I think, hey, what if they made a horror game? Not all developers want to make horror game. No, not all developers want to make a horror game. But that's just me. I like horror games. And I always think about, hey, what if this guy made a horror game? Anyways, I'm rambling now. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, hit that subscribe button, become a subscriber. Hit the notification down below for updates on my videos. Thank you for watching. Until the next time.